blaming anybody.
Yeah.
But the music was actually removed under the Ministry of Education. Why? It required, according to them, a lot of equipment and skill, teaching skill.
Yeah.
Now, when government try to regularize everything, they look at every school, whether it's a Budo or a very small school in Kanungu, they will look at it and say, can they run music? So they actually removed it. Now that killed a lot of the things you're talking about, Budraso. It killed. You see, now we have GAPA, performing arts. We never had the band. The band also went down. The teachers who were teaching music had to be released to go somewhere else. Now Mengo insisted and maintained. I think Mr. Kaziwe, they insisted and maintained music because they said they are light to Namirembe. They need to have that. They feed a lot of the boys who are in that morning choir come to Mengo, and now they've started coming to Budo as well. So that caused a distortion, like what you're saying, Nightingales. That I noticed. I remember somebody told me it had for a long time. I think after us, up to almost your time, there was a gap.
Yeah.
Now to pick it back up, now let me give you an example. There was a lot of creativity in the time when we had Budraso and the band. People would do even those plays. People were playwrights growing up in school, learning how to write. We even had the Budo Telegraph. We used to write something about it. Yes. You had very creative people writing stories.
It was fantastic. We even had cartoons. We had guys who illustrate.
And it was hand done.
Yes.
You just need to see a picture, and you don't need to be told what this guy is trying to talk about, because you would remember that event and say, "This guy is so creative."
I didn't mention that. I have to say, because I made even a statement which was assumptive that because Chapel was there, or it helped to grow a lot of this in the 19th. Actually, when we went in this one, Chapel was not even compulsory. Yes, -1, you go if you want. So
Who was the chaplain then?
Yes, that was the chaplain.
Mr. Bombo.
Bombo came just after that, because when I came in this one, he came here around about -2 or something like that. But the fact that the parents and the ministry also just said, no. The only time we used to do, so we had that roll call on Sunday evening, then we had those house meetings, that's where we used to pray. But chapel, go if you want to, but very quickly we had to go back to compulsory one. But also what I wanted to mention is that we didn't actually have music. I don't remember anybody being taught music in classes. All these things were done actually outside. Outside. You see that Alan Shalubis, Hope Mukasa, and so on. Those guys just used to organize themselves. They didn't study music or anything like that. So we didn't have the formal structures or the academic structures. But I think that students were pushed to do this themselves. We still had a lot of the tradition of holistic education. I agree with you. It's not only in Budo, in very many schools. I don't know which period it was. I can't name it, but academics took over. And all schools now were competing to make sure that the students, when you started doing, I think, prep from 6 o'clock in the morning, then even Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday has always been a tradition, was free. You go and you do what? You go and
wash clothes, prepare food,
We used to go to town on Wednesday afternoon. And so it changed. I went to Budo, it's not too long ago. They have prep on Sunday.
Yes,
Saturday. They have prep on Sunday morning. I said, it was Saturday. I remember we almost went on strike. Now these are not exemplary periods. I think it's RS5. For us, we knew entertainment was one thing. We used to call it the room. The room, which is dance. That's
where it comes from.
So we used to have our dances. So Mr. Bauba came, he said we should be having debates, quiz, what not, that kind of thing. I was the chairman of the school council. We had the entertainment already. We'd say, okay, probably a film or something like that. But one night they decided that girls, when we used to finish the dances, boys would accompany the girls via Mutesa route to the Busulwa. You are at least allowed to do that and you stop at Busulwa.
Yes.
So, of course, all sorts of things used to happen and so on. So, the administration decided that when you finish with dance, everybody stop in the dance hall and so on, and the girls get out first. And they first go and they all congregate in the staff room, the staff rooms, and so on. And then once they've been congregated, then some teachers accompany them on their own all the way down. I think boys felt like now we've really taken our liberty. we have to even, you've started telling us that we can't have dances. Now even the girls are being shepherded. I think when they went that time, they went and they took them to the girl in the staff room. The number of stones that rained in the staff room, everybody of course ran out. So even the girls, they were trying to protect even the teachers, everybody just ran out. But that, I'm just trying to tell you the mentality of the time. We did not think that there's any other form of entertainment. But sooner or later, we settled down and started having some. But for a long time, we had our band, the band would play, or we had the DJs would play. So it was just a sign of the times.
Sign of the times.
Well,
But not too much. But we moved too much.
now that the population is
I'm just,
a bit, the girl population has increased
Fairly.
much more. The numbers have
Is it a
grown
third?
because I think the girls are about
Bigger.
maybe almost 900 now,
Yeah.
just the girls, and that was the entire school population when we were there.
It's almost a third.
So
And how many boys?
the boys are 1,014
1-4.
around there.
1,416.
But that's
So-
Nearly 1 to 2.
Yeah,
I mean 1 to 1.
so,
really.
yeah, the ratio is much better.
It's much better.
it's
It's
fair.
much better.
It has to
I
be
don't know how
fair.
they're doing it with those dormitories, the girls' dormitories.
What happened is
dormitories are now
when Grace
big.
House burned,
Much better.
when Grace House burned, when they were rebuilding, they made it went higher. So it takes in more girls, but then they also put more spaces for the Sabaganse girls.
Okay.
I think Dexter is now.
And the common rooms are normal.
No, not yet.
Still, it has not got its independence.
Yeah, because
Actually,
Unfortunately, I
Common
think
rooms
the
are
common
no
rooms are no longer there. Because I saw in Grace House, they were sleeping in there.
that was before they put some sort of extension, but they are trying to create more space, and they're doing, I think, a good job now to bring back the common rooms, because the TT players haven't had nowhere to play. The house meetings, they didn't have space. So once they finished, I think the extension for Salvaganzi, because remember when it burned, they had all moved into the Grace Stars all moved into Salvaganzi, so all the space was taken up. But once this bigger one now was done, it created more space and more room. And if you visit Grace House now, it's more spacious than it was before.
It is, but
It
the
is.
common room is gone.
They had this. They initially were using them for accommodation, but they are slowly phasing them out to reclaim that space. And that's why there's the girls' reading room to kind of create space for them to read. And since the common room is not really available yet, we're going to give a parting shot of what it is we took away from Budo in our time there, and we shall resume the conversation at our next podcast and discuss other topics we have left out. Some people wanted to say some stories, but we shall keep them for another time. Our time is fast spent, and we're going to give a parting shot, starting from James,
Yeah.
all the way back.
Oh,
Yes.
parting shot of what I got from Budo.
Yeah.
I think Budo was a place of creativity. I think I've learned a lot from Chris because even the original names, he has actually brought it to my knowledge that several of these things contact. The words we used to hear, Chua, that Chua in Kavija, I now know why it's so strong. That name is so powerful. We hear Chua, they say it because it started from the hill, things like that. Then the history of Budraso, the fact that you're saying musicians used to inspire themselves to actually do it. They were very brilliant people. And I've realized something, Budo was a place of creativity. I'm just blessed to have a family in Budo, children now. I have a son in S3. So when I think about it, I can now tell the glaring difference between the creativity and now the need to have a certain structure in the school to compete with the rest. And I think academics has done some both good and bad to the creativity of Budo. But when I hear it here, I think the role in our hands is to really, we need to take it in our hands and actually work to bring that creativity back. So for me, what I picked from Budo was that it was a place of creativity, freedom to express yourself. For you to say that people were rioting for refusing girls to get out. If it happened now, you'll know, oh my God. You'll have 200 people expelled. It's just standard. There's no chance of it. So the thing is, there was an expression, a balance. So I picked that, and I think the creativity, Susan, you can see she's very creative. At the time we were there, we really used to have that opportunity. You can be creative and think up something. Like you've all said, prefects used to really run the school. So I learned that and said, you can actually have your own peers running the school. So I picked creativity. Creativity was what I picked from Budo.
Thank you.
I picked, I picked sports, or sports picked me and made me. I played every sport there. Rugby, I tried it the first time, I got an injury in PE. I swore never to do it in S1. But sports got me a government sponsorship. So
wow.
I'm grateful for that for Budo. Yeah. And many memories and friends.
Okay. My parting shot is my memory of Budo. A
Is it
few
back?
bits. No, it's not back. Well, what I think I remember most was the roll call. I was shocked that there was no roll call in his time.
There
But
was.
There
when I
was on Sundays.
One, okay, so
Sundays, yeah.
we get into Budo and there's roll call everywhere.
That
Chapel,
time.
breakfast, morning class, evening class, prep. It was crazy. You just couldn't escape anything. Then I got to A level and I got to this school that was like a university. You go to class when you want, you eat a meal when you want, you go to town when you want, you drink alcohol when you want, and just
It's national school.
no, it was a national school, but there were just no rules. So actually, that place almost ruined my life. Because from all this captivity, I got into this and I had arrived
Yeah.
Comparative.
comparatively, yes. So yeah, that's a bit I really remember about.
I think my experience in Budo was where I first encountered very strict environment. Like I said, the first thing that shocked me was that set of rules. It was quite comprehensive. And I learned to live within very restricted environment, but without really feeling it. Like I knew what the rules are and I was able to do whatever I wanted. Because eventually I didn't really feel those rules. The other thing is timekeeping. Actually, timekeeping was ruthlessly emphasized during my time. That's one thing I learned and I have lived by it. I tend to find it has helped me wherever I've worked. I've worked under very restrictive environments all through. Wherever I try to think that where I'm going is a bit easier, it's extremely the opposite. I've been lived in environments where even if I'm to come here, I have to first write somewhere. They clear which route you are going to take, then you go back, the time you're supposed to leave. So, but since I had already grown up in such environments, I still can manage. The rules are there, I follow them, but I do what I'm supposed to do and extra. Yeah, that is it.
Budo, confidence.
Yeah.
Just feel confident. Why? Because I went to Budo. I told you for me, I was kicking to go there. And I did from a very young age. If I had to live my life again, I would go back through exactly the same Budo that I saw. So of course that's not how things happen. But Budo, you came and you met people who are outstanding in all fields, because as one leading leader wrote, Budo groomed the best. So you come and you realize how good everybody else is. Yeah. We had people from all sorts of backgrounds. Okay, for me, I remember we used to have you grew up with ministers' children, and so you are not phased at all. You know, you are with the very bright students, very talented students. So you learned how to brush shoulders with people who are outstanding, and you get that inner confidence. It's not painted on your face. I meet Budonians, and I may not know that they are Budonian, but after a few conversations, I discover they tell you that guy is a Budonian, but I say, yes, I'm not surprised. So there is something, okay? And as I've said, it is inner. When I left Budo, I studied, I've worked abroad, I've worked in international organizations, and so on. There is something that has always been able to carry you. I'm not faced by people who are outstanding, because I did what? I met them. You learn how to. So it carries you. There's a way it carries you. It's not written on your face, it's not whatever. You're not cocky about it, but it's there. So for me, that's the Budo. You know, Budo has gone through 120 years. And each time it has met different challenges, and so it has also been morphing with the times. I've always believed also that Budo has been a reflection of our country. When our country has been doing well, Budo is always doing very well. When the country hasn't been doing well, it could see the same signs in Budo. So Budo is typical, and that's what Budonians are. Well, that's what I feel. So that's what I think about it.
Oh, thank you.
Like Chris, I think also I got confidence from Budo, but this time from how the boys treated us gave me confidence. I can't be cornered. I can't be. I mean, I'll stand on my 2 feet and do whatever I want. You can't tell me. You can't corner me. From the way the Mutesa boys treated us, from the fact that we used to sit like 2 girls on a table of 10 boys in the dining room. You come in, you even fear to go there to sit, and when you sit, all their eyes are on you. How do you eat? How do you put the fork there? They're like staring at you. Okay, you brave up and eat, but when you get up, like on Saturday suppers, we used to dress to kill. What to kill who? I don't know.
The pocketing, kill the pocketing.
But we used to dress up on Saturday suppers.
They don't like dressing.
But unfortunately, when you got up to go out after you've eaten your food, then these boys will get their forks and start banging on the plate, fork and spoon, on your table. So this attracts the boys on the neighboring tables. So as you walk, people, you feel like as if you can sit down and not walk up. Those boys really gave us, but it made us strong. It really made us strong. Then another thing is, I think, responsibility. From the way we used to follow the drum, drum for everything. You know that at each and every specific time you have to be here. You don't have to wait for Chris to come and tell you, your monitor, get up, do this, go and bath, go to the mess, go to the classes. As long as the drum has gone, you're supposed to be somewhere. So I feel responsible, it gave me responsibility.
Self-reliance. I joined Budo Junior School at quite a very young age, and I learned quite a lot on how to do things on my own. Not very many people have that opportunity at such a young age. Just as Chris said, by P4, I could make my own decisions. Do this, do not do this. I was able to do the washing, then come to King's College, learned more skills. We talked earlier on about the World Food Program, so we learned quite a lot of life skills. And I definitely cannot just fail to survive in any environment. The interactions we had with students from all sorts of background. I mean, it has really given me quite a lot of life skills.
Thank you very much. I want to agree with Chris. One of the greatest things I picked from Budo was confidence, but it also gave me very high leadership qualities. I tend to be a person, like when I get into a space, I don't know. It's as if I try to dominate the space. And exactly, if you noticed earlier when we were here, they were making chairs, class. I was getting disturbed by the whole thing, and I immediately got in. And that's me. It's been me. Anyone who has been with us. I joined Budo when I was really young. I was 12, and I thought I was squeezed. I was intimidated initially, but by the time I left, I had all these qualities, and I think have driven me forward a lot in life. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for me, in addition to what I talked last time, I'll put it towards structure and initiative. I took a lot of lessons from Budo, life lessons about structure, and the importance of having structures wherever you are. Time for doing this, time for doing something at the right time, and then also taking the initiative to do things that you're supposed to do without being told to do. I find that a bit lacking amongst the young generation, and as an employer, I have to deal with the young guys. And drumming that into people's heads is a bit taxing, yet it comes naturally to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, more to life lessons. I got a lot of life lessons from Budo. Even just going through that Kamoa phases. Okay, I don't know if you know what Kamoa is, but it's a case of whereby the food gets, the grub gets finished before it is there. Long before. So getting that, you learn financial discipline, and also basically learn to manage your money. And it's something that I learned. Another thing that really, even though I was not an athlete in Budo, interesting that morning trots with Mr. Busulwa stuck with me even when I moved to Canada. I was in Canada House, but I also lived in Canada. I actually started trot and participated in marathons, half marathons, and so that was quite an impactful thing. The other thing was really just being in charge of a computer club along with the rest of the executive. We realized that some students didn't know what we knew, so we started teaching. And it's impressive that some of the people we taught went on to do very well in the MTN or wherever they went. And the contact, basically the fellowship was also something very impactful because it brought structure, discipline, and again, when I was miles away from Uganda, it was something that kept me grounded. Yeah, because remember, with Reverend Bombo at the time, we had also his thing of Monday to Friday, we have those 10 to 15 minutes of morning chapel. Yeah, morning chapel. It really, now when I was in Canada, it started missing that, and I needed to do something the first thing of that day. Yeah. So that was
spiritual.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, because it's quite a lot. First off, the confidence. Yes, there is that test and experience, but then I'm also a sports person, not an athlete as such. But I love netball and then basketball. I got to love the basketball when I joined Budo because I found it. But there is a way. We only had one court by then. I'm happy that we now have two. Yeah, but only had one court, and we had to fight with the boys for the girls to trade. And like, there's always these boys who make you feel like why you guys been training? Your team is down the other side, and the boys' team is the one going for nationals, and you guys are, just training for, let's say, just inter-house for second term. But I don't know, I liked that we could actually coexist on this court. We actually started training with the boys, however rough they were. We'd play with them. And it made me, get so used to them. I don't mind being with them. I don't mind playing with them. And then I realized after joining campus that some people are, intimidated by boys.
And for you,
that's something that's very, And then the other thing is my spiritual life. The fact that chapel is compulsory, there is a way that builds your spiritual life without you noticing. Actually, you find yourself going for Sunday fellowship, leaving house, because usually Sunday is for chilling. Saturday chilling. Then you leave Grace House and come to chapel, and then you learn to read the Bible. So it built my spiritual part of me. And then also the fact that there is a lot in this world, like there is a lot happening at the same time, and probably a lot you'd like to be part of, but you have to choose. There will be chapel, there will be sports, there will be entertainment, there is a lot happening at the same time on, let's say, Sunday evening. And you have to understand that you can't be in all places. You can't have it all. You have to choose. So I also learned that. And then lastly, it also gave me a community. I have so many friends from there, and until today they've become sisters, they've become brothers. There is also obviously all books. So I'm really happy I went to Budo.
The two biggest things I learned from Budo, one is friendship. One thing I've noticed with Budonians, unlike other schools, is Budonians look out for each other. Budonians treasure friendships. It has actually made me learn that there's power in meaningful friendships. I am so much of what I am today because of the friends I made in Budo. And also, the most interesting thing is how I got into Budo. That is a story that I'll tell another day. But I have learned to appreciate God for the friends I've made from Budo, and I've also learned self-discipline. The self-discipline, I think I learned it from the core value, integrity. Integrity is what you do when Harriet is not seeing me, Chris is not seeing me. So how you dress, how you handle stuff. I am so much into finance. I work in finance. That integrity, you carry it with you over and over again. And Budo culture is that it structures someone into an all-round person. Because there's so much going on. Like Harriet has said, you're going to reach a stage where you have to choose what in course. You choose what to forgo, go for another thing. So it all takes a lot of discipline to make those choices. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for all those nuggets. They're different but almost the same, and yet they are true. So that explains or gives you a sneak peek of what Budo is. It's versatile, but you go away better than you came in. You have rubbed shoulders with people from the high and mighty, every caliber of life, and you learn to swim your way through. Like I said in the last podcast, Budo teaches you to self-manage. You go through this refining where you discover who you are, what you're capable of, You learn your weaknesses, you learn how to harness them, you learn how to coexist with people in different spaces, wherever they throw you. You can roll with the punches, right? And more so even for the girls, because for us it's like a double kind of funness for us. There is being in the Budo where there are all sorts of people, but then you're dealing with boys who are more than you, and you have to find a way to deal. Some of us, we are lucky, we only have brothers, so we came when we already have the skill. But to me, I enjoyed my stay at Budo, and like we say, I would gladly do that experience again, because the lessons learned have carried me through. Even when I meet the people I saw or met then, some of them have been friends for all these years. And these are the people we're doing life with. They're the people you can rely on. They're the people you can call whenever. They're the people you call when you see them going through something. You are eagerly and easily there for them, because you're like, these are my people. This is family. And we shall forever be grateful for everybody who has done whatever they've done, whatever brick they've laid to make Budo what it is. From those who just thought we should build a school like this, to those who are running it today, and those who have worked in the school in between different times, wars and good times and struggles and whatnot. But school, we persevered. And like I like to say, whichever stage we are just starting. And indeed, Gachari Nawaga. Thank you for watching. See you next time.